if this is how a rivalry starts, by the way, today's going to be, who knows what's going to happen today and the rest of the way. Sure, you prefer the victory. I was not as protective of Gerrit Cole as some were. Like, he's navigated these situations before, so I understood what you meant, and others who said that, yeah, do you really want to put Gerrit in that spot first game back? I didn't think that was a big issue. I thought more like today, like somebody like Louis Heel, that would be more problematic to make him or to urge him to do something like that. Yeah, this had to be done. I just didn't understand all the people saying that the Yankees shouldn't retaliate. I really couldn't understand it. I mean, you're chasing the same thing. Your best player got absolutely drilled. Torres got drilled. One of them played yesterday. One of them didn't. The guy that you want to play didn't play. And the Yankees aren't supposed to do anything about it. It's absolute lunacy that people thought that the Yankees shouldn't do anything. Right, but so, yes, I'm happy that they did.
Well, here's why. First of all, I was okay with the way that it played out, but it still cost them the game. I mean, the Yankees...
That's too easy to say that. Well, I know what you mean. The double, the extra run, Stanton's home run, not meaning as much. Yankees had 7 innings to do something about this with their offense. They did nothing.
It was 4-1.
They did nothing before Stanton got loose.
Now, I think the people like myself, I can't speak for everybody, but from the calls that we heard yesterday, and I know how I felt, I didn't want them to retaliate specifically because of Gerrit Cole. I didn't want them to put it on Gerrit Cole in his season debut, and I didn't want it to get in the way of them winning a game. And they didn't do it with Gerrit Cole, check, so I'm happy with that. But they did retaliate, and it didn't help them as far as winning the game. It cost them a run. I mean,
I know it cost them a run. It cost them a run. But I wouldn't say it cost them the game. Like, I know it literally did cost them a run. Right. I mean, that he stole second.
Because they came back to tie? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, but still, it could have been a game winner then.
I understood. But listen, I'm not going to the very next day change my opinion, so radically. Sal asked me, he's like, all right, well, if the Yankees do retaliate and they happen to lose, are you okay with that? And I said, I prefer to retaliate and win, but if you do retaliate and you happen to lose, then I'm okay with that, because me, it's always about the greater picture. It's more macro versus micro, and macro being the rest of the season, October showdowns, and just planting some seeds that you can't have an edge over us where you think that you can. And that's the freedom to throw inside and to throw freely inside without any retaliation or penalty. So I would have liked if Gerrit Cole did it, but Victor Gonzalez, make no mistake about it, 94-mile-per-hour sinker, that's his best pitch. Boom, absolute drills Gunnar Henderson. That was on purpose, and I thought Caleb Ferguson on Colton Cowser was absolutely, that was a 94-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball, which is what you're going to throw at somebody if you're trying to hit them.
You think that was a purpose pitch?
I do. Both below the neck, both in the perfect spot. I had no issue. You hit 2 of our guys. We hit 2 of yours. Now we keep it moving. I don't want to see...
See, I don't know. I don't think they're going to keep it moving. And the one thing that I noticed about that, when Cowser got hurt, when he got hit, he threw his bat down.
He did.
And Trevino stepped up right in his face, basically. Not right in his face, but Trevino he took exception to it. Hey, watch that bat. And then Cowser did apologize a little bit, but it's getting testy with these two teams.
Okay, so what? That's what happens when you have rivals.
Well, I mean,
that's good.
I'm just saying.
We're going to shy away from a testy rivalry all of a sudden?
No, but I don't think it's over. I don't think it's all right. Well,
I don't think so either.
They hit 2 of us, we hit 2 of theirs, and now we move on. I don't think so. I think we've only just begun with this, and we'll see what happens today as far as the fireworks go. Victor Gonzalez was 100% on purpose. I don't think Ferguson was on purpose, but that's just me saying I don't think it was necessarily on purpose.
And that's just me saying that I think there was intent, but again, I don't know for sure. You don't know for sure. All I know is the previous night, 2 Yankees got drilled. Last night, 2 Orioles got drilled. And, you like to say, okay, there's a wash. You don't want it above the neck. This could get dangerous. You don't want brawls. You don't want guys getting hurt. Understood. But to me, last night, now, getting saddled with the loss, and there are baseball issues, which we'll discuss, obviously, with the New York Yankees here. But to be a champion, you've got to carve out some territory when it's there to be carved out. And if you just allow a team to come into your house and punk you, I'm sorry. You're not showing me the mindset and the physical pushback of a champion. So the Yankees did not, and I actually, I really do think both were purposeful. I do. Okay. I can't, certainly Gonzalez, and I do think Caleb Ferguson as well. I'll never know if I'm right or wrong, but I believe absolutely both were done. They were executed the proper professional way, and I do believe that they were on purpose. But if that didn't happen last night, I would have come in here like a raving lunatic.
Right.
Like, this team is soft. This team's got no guts. This team's got no spine. They don't have not that there's always a correlation to like hitting somebody and winning a championship, but the last time the Yankees won a World Series, who was the anchor on that staff? CeCe Sabathia. You think this is going down on CeCe's watch without something happening? The answer is no.
No, but I never doubted that this Yankees group had that in them. So they did respond. They did, retaliate last night, but it didn't help their cause in winning a game. So the issue that I have with the Yankees from last night, they didn't prioritize winning in two facets. Number one, by hitting a player and putting him on base for free and having him score a run, that obviously hurt you. Now, was it the game-winning run? No, it was not, but ultimately it led to the Orioles' victory. They won 7-6. That's it. They take the second game of the series, rubber match later today at 4. The other thing that the Yankees didn't do as far as prioritizing winning, why was Gerrit Cole taken out of the game when he was? Gerrit Cole threw 62 pitches.
Yeah.
4 innings, 62 pitches. And Michael Kay said it on the broadcast, and I could not agree with him more. Well, why would Gerrit... Well, he was actually just throwing it out there on what his opinion was on it, but if you're going to bring Gerrit Cole up and have him make this start against the Orioles in the big leagues, why then are you only allowing him to throw 62 pitches in 4 innings?
Well, it was a lot lower than I thought. I surmised yesterday based on the, 3 minor league? I think it was 3. 3
right.
or 4 max. I think it was 3, though.
But he was supposed to be up to 80 to 90 pitches.
Well, Aaron Boone never actually gave the number. He was asked, he said, I've got a number in mind. I'm not going to divulge it, obviously, because then you give a slight strategical advantage to the Orioles. Hey, it's 90 pitches. You kind of just maybe change your approach a little bit, get him out earlier.
4 innings, BT.
I understand that, but he was good. He wasn't great. There was a little bit of labor there, so I don't have an issue with that. My issue is with the Yankees, again, the double plays. DJ LeMahieu looks absolutely washed. DJ LeMahieu looks like he should be dumped in the middle of Central Park playing softball today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and not playing at the stadium
and have a guy
at 4 o'clock for the Yankees.
And have a guy running for him as well.
I know. A strange move. I don't know why Austin Wells didn't get a chance to swing the bat last night, coming off the bench as a pinch hitter. There were some things that were a little bit odd. The Yankees cannot throw runners out. Hey, listen, Trevino, if you're going to play because you could throw guys out, I know that Austin Wells isn't hitting yet, but to me, the upside with the stick is more there with Wells. And I don't know that you can keep justifying playing Trevino the way with the frequency that he does, if his calling card defense, if he's not throwing guys out. If teams are running wild on you, then just give me Austin Wells. He's probably going to run into a few more home runs if he gets some regular at-bats. Listen, the Yankees are an imperfect team. We know that. Clay Holmes, more and more, you're starting to look a little right. I am lessening my grip on that rope. The more I see him, and now it's been soft contact, even going back to the Royals game with Rizzo at first base, that play where he didn't charge it and there was a mix-up where Clay Holmes wasn't over there to cover. But the point with Clay Holmes is he doesn't put guys away with the strikeout. And even if it's a soft looper, 80 miles per hour, exit velo, a 7-hopper up the middle, there's going to be guys on base. There's going to be traffic in October. And if you can't just reach back and blast it by somebody, you got 2 guys on, you're going to get unlucky.
Right.
So closer's a bit of an issue. DJ looks shot. Catcher's defense ain't good. So there's the retaliation, which I'm cool with, and then there's the configuration of the Yankees right now. They better make some moves.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. All the Yankee fans that called yesterday and said they want retaliation. Well, you got it. And it cost you a run, and you ended up losing a game to the Orioles. Eric is in Rivervale, New Jersey. What's up, Eric?
BT, Sal, how we doing, guys?
How are you, Eric?
Hello, buddy.
Love starting with the Yanks this morning, and you guys hit on kind of a lot of the points and all the things that I was frustrated with last night. But, the retaliation to me is the fact that Judge didn't play, led me to believe it was coming and certainly well warranted. Our best player, certainly the best player on the field on both sides, isn't in the game for a reason. You got to go after him. And to BT, to your point, this rivalry is sticking around. It's not going anywhere. That Orioles team is young. Yes. They're going to be a thorn in our side for a while. So this is the kind of stuff you have to do. And I love the fact that the Yankees are doing it. I completely agree with you also, BT. We have a couple more.
So you don't care about the loss? Eric, you don't care about the loss at all then?
I absolutely care about the loss, but I don't, Sal, I don't put that on the retaliation. I understand your point.
It cost them a run.
But it didn't. You could also, it's easy to say that, but it's also Trevino throwing the ball into the outfield, right? Problem, right? DJ, to your point, BT, looks absolutely cooked.
He's done.
So, to me, the retaliation, the upside, and the message that it sends is well worth it. If those plays are made and you don't get that blue, soft contact off of Clay Holmes, that game's a different outcome. And I don't believe that the actual retaliation there was the reason. I mean, Trevino,
it's not the lone,
sure
Eric, it's not the lone reason, and thank you for the call.
Thanks, bud.
But you did put a guy on base, and he did come around and score. So you can't say that it wasn't a part or wasn't a factor. Now, obviously, the Yankees lost that game for multiple reasons. You give up 7 runs, you're losing for multiple reasons. However, it didn't help. So you got a nice balance there of you got some blood and you got your retaliation, but it also didn't help you. Like if you hit him and then he got doubled off and inning over, and has 0 impact. Then you feel like, great, we hit him, and it had no impact. But you hit him, and he comes around to score. Now, it did have a negative impact on the ultimate end game result. You could say it doesn't matter, just one game, sure, and you value the retaliation more. I understand that, but you can't say that it didn't impact the Yankees in a negative way on the field as far as the result goes last night.
But this was all baked into my position yesterday. I certainly
knew it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I understood. Anytime you intentionally put somebody on base, yeah, literally, there's a chance he comes around and scores. Then if you lose 1-0, 4-3, 5-4, 7-6, whatever it is, that could be the move, the impetus behind the win for the other team. I got that. I was ready. I was willing to sacrifice that. This was now they lost. This was a stand-up statement kind of a night. It was a moment. It was a point of inflection. I mean, really, when you think about this, Sal, over the course of 162, how many moments truly can you look back and say, pivotal moment, defining moment, pivotal moment, defining moment? To me, last night was one. Because we could also be here and the Yankees lost last night 7-2 or 3-1 or 4-1, and they didn't hit anybody. So just because they hit somebody, 2 people, and they lost doesn't mean if they didn't do that, they would have won. To me, I don't care. I understand that there is a loose correlation, but I'm willing to sacrifice that for the greater good.
All right.
This team needs to prove that they're willing to fight together.
And you think Victor Gonzalez in a 4-1 game hitting somebody is showing a big mark? Like, wouldn't it have meant more if Gerrit Cole did it right out of the gate?
Well, yes. That's why I was pushing back yesterday. Why you didn't want Gerrit to do it. I did, but at least somebody did it.
Right. Well, yeah, but it wasn't even an effective retaliation in that regard. It got lost in the shuffle, kind of, and it hurt them as far as the game goes. I don't look back. If the Yankees win the World Series and there's a 2024, Yankees World Series video, whatever the highlights, look back onto June 19th where Victor Gonzalez hit Henderson. No.
Well, I'll tell you what, it might not be in the video, but Yankee fans will remember that night. I believe that they will.
That Victor Gonzalez?
No, that the Yankees
with the team?
No, maybe not quite the literal details. Well, it was a 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Here's the score. It was Gunnar. Well, it was Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
Maybe not to that degree, but
if Cole did it, now I didn't want him to do it.
I know you did.
And you did.
I was like, I prefer that it was Gerrit Cole.
But that would have sent more of a right out of the gate, first inning, hey, we're not taking this. Crowd would have been into it. Who knows? Maybe it sets a different tone. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I wouldn't have done that, and I was fine with the way that they did it, but I also don't think it had as big of an impact as you're saying that it did because of the way that it was.
Well, here's the thing. In terms of impact, the impact that I'm hoping for, which is why I was stressing the need to do this, will not be felt last night. I mean, it happened last night, but the residue from the actions last night, in theory, will be felt now moving forward. So this is listen, I think the first 5 hitters for Baltimore is better than the Yankees' first 5.
Right.
They are good. They are young. They are dynamic. They are not afraid. And when you have a team like that, now their pitching's inferior to the Yankees. They've had a lot of injuries. But when you have a team like that rolls into the stadium and makes themselves to the Bronx and makes themselves so comfortable that they think they could drill Aaron Judge with no retaliation, that's a team that you got to slap back.
Yeah, and
you have to.
I think you not woke up a sleeping giant,
that's fine,
but ignited a potential major issue here.
So
where
what?
The Orioles clearly weren't happy. The Orioles think that Soto started it with the base running play on Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. Now, If that's the case, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. I wasn't so sure that was the case, but and I also wouldn't blame Soto in that case.
No.
They also, the Orioles, then should have retaliated by hitting Soto, not Judge.
Yeah.
You don't say, this guy on the bait, you wait till he comes up again, you hit him.
I agree with that.
End of story, then it goes away. They made it a bigger, the Orioles escalated it, and then the Yankees did what they felt was necessary, and now you can tell that the Orioles are ticked off. I wouldn't be so surprised if there was a response today in their game.
There might be. There might be. I mean, this rival. Forget about the Red Sox. I mean,
it is now.
It is now New York and Baltimore right now.
Alec is in Stamford. What's up, Alec?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks for taking the call. You guys got awesome insight. I really enjoy listening to you guys every day.
Thank you.
Good. I want to get some insight from you guys because, the trade deadline is really not that far away. And given where we are now, the Yankees are obviously having a great season. It's a long season, so I don't think anybody should be panicking by any stretch, but there's clearly a hole at the closer end, and there's clearly a hole with the base running with Trevino behind the plate. So I wanted to see what you guys think, if the Yankees will go out and go after a guy like Camilo Duvall or Duran on the Twins and say, listen, we need a bona fide closer, a guy that's going to come in and shut the door, or are they going to go out and say, hey, maybe we need a catcher with just a little bit more of an arm, maybe they ship off a guy like Wells too. So, the farm system, I think, is in pretty decent shape overall for the Yankees. I just wanted to see, where you think they would end up at the trade deadline.
They've got multiple moves to make. In the past, there were moves, Cecil Fielder, Dave Justice, that were certainly necessary and yielded positive results. But the weaknesses of those teams, I don't think were as pronounced as the weaknesses on this team. Listen, I don't know how to say this without sounding disrespectful, but I don't mean it that way. You cannot play DJ LeMahieu anymore. He's done.
Yeah.
He can't move. He can't run. Everything is soft, 5 hoppers, flares.
Can't tell me you wouldn't rather have Cabrera in there.
He's shot. I would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on. What are we doing at this point? Unfortunately, he is shot. Now, to the caller's point, he could have been making up those names. I have no idea.
No, there's a couple of real names in there.
Well, that's fine. But Minnesota, why would they trade anybody? They're in the wild card race. The problem that teams are going to have, the Yankees, whoever's going to be buying here, problem that they're going to have is that a lot of teams are in it. Mm-hmm. So you're picking apart the White Sox potentially, the A's potentially, the Angels, and are there really players? I mean, I'm sure you could find
the White Sox are really thought to be the team that's going to have the most players to deal, and they're going to.
And now it's a smaller pool of teams, whoever it may be in both leagues, but a smaller pool, which means the price goes up.
Which means better prospect packages, which means it makes the Yankees' life tougher.